11 students. So for today's video, I'll be going to discuss to you the product of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form. Okay, so this will be the last type of special products na i-discuss sa inyo for the second quarter. Okay, so the question here is how I'm going to identify if or kung ito ay isang product of a binomial and a trinomial na special form. So may mga following characteristics itong special product na ito. Okay, so the first one, para malaman ko kung gagamitin ko itong rule na to, is to look at the given. So look at the given. Ang given natin dito is a binomial and a trinomial. Yun muna ang first characteristic na titignan nyo, i-check nyo. Okay? So this is a binomial and this is a trinomial. So when we say trinomial, it has three terms. So yung tatlong terms na yon, these are a squared, ab, at saka b squared. Okay? And then we also have binomial, and you already know what's a binomial, what binomial is, right? So next characteristic that you need to check is if the first term of the trinomial is the square of the first term of the binomial. So, gagawin lang natin dyan, if the first term, check natin yung first term nito, at yung first term natin, and then check din natin yung first term ng ating trinomial. So, kapag yan, napansin natin na similar lang siya, pero nakasquared siya dito sa trinomial, then, isa yun na good characteristic of this special type of special product. Okay? Second characteristic, the second term of the trinomial is the additive inverse of the product of the first and the second terms of the binomial. So, ibig sabihin doon, in short, kailangan it's a product ng dalawang terms natin dito sa binomial. So, we have A and B. So, dapat A and B to. Product ito ng first term and the last term. And, as well as, kailangan it's an additive inverse. So, when I say additive inverse, that means it's the opposite. Okay, so kung ito ay plus, it should be minus here. So, that's the second characteristic. Okay, so next characteristic would be the third term. So, look at the third term. Tignan natin yung third term. Okay, ito yung third term natin sa trinomial. The third term of the trinomial is the square of the second term of the binomial. Okay? Di ba ito yung second term natin sa binomial or the last term? Kapag yan nakasquared siya dito, then it's a good characteristic. Ibig sabihin, na-met niya yung conditions na yon, yung apat na condition. So, ulitin lang natin, yung first condition natin na dapat malaman or i-check, okay, I'm going to erase this one. Yung first condition natin is kailangan meron kang isang binomial at isang trinomial. Okay? So, next characteristic that should be met is kailangan yung first term natin, the first term, ay squared siya dun sa first term ng trinomial. Yan, similar, pero nakasquared lang siya dun sa trinomial. Next characteristic, the third one, kailangan, baligtarin natin yung third one, kailangan nakasquared din yung last term. So, yung last term, pero nakasquared siya dito sa trinomial. And the last characteristic of this special product is meron tayong product ng first term and the last term. So, ibig sabihin, dapat yung nasa gitna dito, it's a product of the first term and the last term. And, kailangan additive inverse. So, when I say additive inverse, it should be the opposite of the operation. So, kung ito ay minus, This is plus rather. This is plus na erase ko lang yun. So, if it's plus, kailangan the additive inverse niya. The opposite. Okay? So, kapag yan, na-met yung 4 conditions na yon, then we can use this rule. A cube plus B cube. Okay? So, yun lang yung mga tatandaan mong characteristics. Okay? So, similarly din dito sa second natin na condition. What if we have a subtraction between the first term and the last term in the binomial? So, ang gagawin lang natin dyan, let's check muna kung mamimit niya yung mga conditions, the 4 conditions. So, check natin. Siyempre, we have a binomial and a trinomial. Second condition, let's check the first term of the binomial. The first term of the binomial is A. So, dapat the first term ng trinomial natin is the squared ng first term natin in the binomial. So, check na siya doon. Next condition, the third one, the last term in the binomial, kailangan nak-squared siya sa last term ng trinomial. Okay? And the last one, the fourth condition, it should be the product of the first term and the last term in the binomial. But it's an additive inverse. Or that means the opposite. Okay, so product ng A at saka B, that is AB. And the opposite of subtraction is plus. So, if we met all the 4 conditions, then we can apply this rule. The product of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form. Okay? So, now, let's begin. Let's have number 1, example number 1. So, example number 1, we have the quantity of x minus 10 multiplied to the quantity of x squared plus 10x plus 100. So, let's check if na-met niya yung mga conditions natin. So, first condition should be a binomial multiplied to the trinomial. So, yes, it's a binomial, 2 terms, and we also have 3 terms here. So, we have trinomial. Second characteristic. Second characteristic, the first term of the binomial, kailangan nak-squared siya sa first term in the trinomial. So, check siya doon. Kasi nak-squared. And similar dapat sila. Okay. Third characteristic. The last term in the binomial, kailangan naka-squared naman siya dun sa last term ng trinomial. So, pag sinabi kong squared, so kung kukunin ko yung squared nito, this is 10 squared. And 10 squared, 10 times 10, that will give us 100. So, check siya doon. Pares siya. That's the 10 squared. So, it's 100. So, na-met na yung 3 conditions. Next condition. So, for the last condition, kukunin lang natin yung first term and the last term. Then, get the product of that. So, x times 10, let me write that dito sa upper part. Okay, so kunin lang natin yun. X times 10, that's 10x, right? So, multiply lang natin. 10 times x, that's 10x. And yun yung nakuha natin doon sa middle term. So, that means, nami-meet yung condition niya. Pero siyempre, check din natin to. So, this is subtraction. So, kailangan, opposite niya dito. Okay? So, as you can see, na-meet natin yung 4 condition or the 4 characteristics of this special product. So, dahil na-meet na yun, we can apply now that rule. So, syempre, tingnan lang natin dyan kung alin sa dalawang yan ang gagamitin natin. So, since minus ito, so, we're going to use the second one. So, ang gagawin lang dyan, madali lang siya. Okay, just know the first term and the last term. Just identify the first and the last term. So the first term here is x. So x lang natin yan, and then i-cube lang natin siya. And lagi siyang minus niyan kasi we use minus here. And then cube the last term. Kasi yung b natin dyan, that's 10. That's the last term in the binomial. So we have 10 cubed. Okay? So syempre, that's not yet the final answer. We need first to simplify 10 raised to 3. Okay? So we have x cubed, rewrite lang natin x cubed, minus 10 raised to 3. So when we say 10 raised to 3, or 10 raised to the third power, that means, multiply lang yan ng 10 ng tatlong beses by itself. So 10 times 10 times 10. So, in our previous discussion sa first quarter, if I'm not mistaken, I already discussed to you the technique, the shortcut method, kung paano mag-multiply ng multiples of 10. Okay, so ang gagawin nyo lang dyan is just multiply the non-zero digit. Pag sinabi ko non-zero, yung mga hindi zero, yung multiply mo lang yun. So, here, the non-zero digits ay 1, 1, at saka 1. So, multiply mo lang lahat yun. 1 times 1, 1. Times 1, that's 1. And then, count all the zeros. So, the zero here, how many zeros do we have? So, we have 3 zeros. So, yun yung sagot nun. Lalagay mo lang siya. So, the answer there, 10 cubed or 10 times 10 times 10, that is 1,000. So, the answer here is 1,000. Yan. The final answer now is x cubed minus 1,000. Okay? So, mas madali siya. Instead of using the distributive property or the generic rectangle. So, mas magandang gamitin tong shortcut na to. Ang ano lang sa shortcut method na to or the algebraic method is you have to meet the four conditions or the four characteristics bago mo i-apply yung shortcut rule. Okay? So ngayon yan, let's give another example. So let's have x plus 3 multiply to the quantity of x squared plus 3x plus 9. Okay, so let's check if we can apply the rule of the product of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form. So first condition, let's check if we have a binomial and a trinomial. So check siya doon. Second condition, let us check the first term. The first term in the binomial is x. So, dapat dito sa trinomial, naka-squared siya. Right? Next step, the last term. The last term in the binomial, kailangan naka-squared siya dun sa trinomial natin. So, when we say squared, 3 squared, that is 3 times 3, that will give us 9. So, tama? 9 yun nandito? Yes. So, it met the condition or the characteristics. Or characteristic instead. Okay? So, next thing or the next condition is the product of the first term and the last term. So, the product of the first term and the last term, x times 3, 3x. And it's the opposite. Okay, so tingnan natin. So, opposite nun ng plus is dapat minus yun nandito. So, kung titignan natin siya, titignan natin yan sa trinomial, tama na 3x siya. Pero, hindi na-meet ito, yung requirement natin doon. Yung isa sa mga characteristic. So, the question now, can we apply this rule ng product of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form? Okay? So, hindi siya. Hindi natin na-meet yung isa sa mga characteristic niya na dapat opposite yung makukuha natin. plus 2, kailangan it should be minus doon. So, since hindi namit yun, we cannot apply the rule. Okay? So, ngayon, iba yung gagawin natin dyan. Okay? So, lilib muna natin yan kasi ang focus lang natin is the product of a binomial and a trinomial in a special form. So, we cannot multiply that using this rule. Okay, let's have another example. So, let's say we have x plus 4, then we have x squared minus 4x plus 16. Let's have this example. So, check natin kung pwede natin i-apply yung rule. So, we cannot apply the rule here. We cannot apply the rule of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form. Okay? So, let's have number 3. Can we apply the rule ng binomial and a trinomial of a special form? Let's check. So, dapat meron tayong binomial and a trinomial. Of course, meron tayo. So, check na siya dun sa first condition or first characteristic. Second characteristic, the first term. First term, kailangan nakasquared siya doon. Tama, nakasquared. Last term, 4, so nakasquared siya doon. So, tama pa rin. Kasi 4 squared is 16. Kasi 4 times 4, that will give us 16. So, tama siya doon. And next characteristic, the product, the opposite of the product ng ating 4 at saka x. So, 4 times x, that's 4x. And opposite ng plus dito is minus. Okay? So, tignan natin kung pareha siya dito. So, pareha siya. So, ngayon, dahil na-meet yung 4 characteristics, we can now apply the rule of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form here. Ang gagawin lang natin is, kunin lang natin yung first term. The first term is x. So, cube lang natin yun, x cube. Second natin is the last term. And the last term is 4. I-cube lang natin yung 4. Okay? And then, this is plus, kaya plus din yung gitna niya. Okay? So, this is not yet the final answer kasi we still have this numerical or the constant na naka-cube. So, kailangan muna natin i-simplify yung 4 cube. So, we have x cube plus, so let us get the answer of 4 cube. Ibig sabihin ng 4 cube, 4 times 4 times 4. So, multiply lang natin yan. 4 times 4, that will give us 16. 16 times 4, let's multiply. So, 6 times 4, that's 24. 4 times 1, 4. Plus 2, 6. So, we have 64. So, the answer here is 64. So, this is now our final answer. We have x cubed plus 64. Okay? So, that's it for the product of a binomial and a trinomial of a special form. Bye!